Hello, this is On the Move. We are on an adventure to move from Ontario to Prince Edward Island, Canada. And today have we got a lot to share with you, from moves to jobs to just physically relocating ourselves and what you see behind us. Stay tuned, lots to come.
Welcome. We're glad that you've joined us again tonight. As you can see, our location is a little different. We are coming to you from the beautiful countryside. It is hot as blazes out here. So if we're dripping, don't mind us. And you can hear the birds and just general beauty as we look out at farm fields in southern Ontario, which is a site that we need to absorb for just a little while longer, because there is no denying it is one of the most beautiful areas in our very beautiful country that has all kinds of beautiful locations.
All kinds. Yeah, and this here, where we are in southern Ontario, it's flat, it's beautiful farmland, it's quiet. That was a motorcycle you heard. You probably won't hear many vehicles that come by.
Don't say that, or now all of a sudden we're going to have anyway.
It is beautiful. It actually is the area that my mother grew up, and I spent some time as a teenager here, so it's nostalgic for me.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a nice place.
Yes. So we're glad to be here for the next couple of weeks, living out of our trailer, which we will give a tour to you in just a short time.
But before we do a tour, some updates. Right. I realized last time I didn't update on a few things that had been happening. We had talked about my beloved piano. We had talked about finding a moving company. And then in our last episode, we didn't talk about that at all. We were too consumed with the whole house thing that was going on.
Kind of blew us sideways.
So updates for that. And actually, we've completed those things now.
We have.
My beloved
We can start checking things off the list.
She loves to do that. She writes lists just so that she can stroke things off of them. So the piano, actually, and I'll put a picture up here, hopefully one of these spots, wherever it fits, of where it went. A friend of ours, an old friend, she was looking for a piano, had been for quite a while. And for me, it was nice to know this was going to somebody who was going to appreciate it, and somebody who really wanted it and that I knew. So we made sure that piano got to her in these last 2 weeks. We ended up, I must be getting old, because we ended up hiring a moving company to do it for us.
I watched and listened at the pivotal point I couldn't watch as it went down the stairs. So getting a company to move this piano downstairs was a good idea.
Yeah, because it's, as you will have seen in the picture, this is a old, big, upright, full upright grand piano, not like the apartment size ones. Even when you said when the guys walked in, they were like,
they went, oh, it's the big one.
Yeah, but they still did it well. Yeah,
really well. They knew exactly what they were doing, and with 3 guys and the proper equipment, they did actually make it look relatively easy, considering it came into the house with 6 of some of the most strapping, strongest, you-know-who-you-are gentlemen that I know. So that was good.
Yeah. So that's taken care of. And then moving, I was having trouble finding a company to do that. As I had said before, either they didn't go to the island, or they were busy, all booked up. COVID makes everything slower and longer, of course. So one night I had this idea, well, what if I go the opposite way? What if I talk to somebody in Prince Edward Island? They can send a container out here, get it filled up, and then take it back and store it on the island. And sure enough, a company, and actually I will name them as well, because so far it's been a beautiful experience with them. Our stuff is somewhere on its way there now.
Yes.
Gallant Moving in Summerside, Prince Edward Island, has been fantastic for us. They actually hired a local company, Campbell Brothers, I believe, to come in with some guys. So they loaded the container for us.
And carefully wrapped everything. And when I say everything, the lawnmower got quilted and taped.
Yeah, and some of our furniture were like, oh, we wouldn't have bothered with that.
But it's awesome. They did their job, and they did it thoroughly and really well, and we're very confident that our stuff will be well taken care of.
And I was initially worried that they weren't going to pack it well, and we get to the end, like, oh, sorry, these things don't fit. But no, these guys packed that thing
Yeah.
to the ceiling. They were even innovative with the kayak. They like strapped it to the side up at the top, and so they really filled it well. And they said at the end, oh yeah, we fit your stuff in comfortably.
Yeah,
So
so
that
that's
was
good.
good.
And it was like a 20-foot container, right?
Yes,
Yes,
20-foot
20 foot,
container.
just to give some context there.
Yeah, so that is on its way, and
On
it
its
will
way.
sit on the island until we know exactly where to put it.
Yeah.
And that takes care of, I think, those updates of the things that we forgot.
Yeah, so our stuff
there.
is gone. The house has been cleaned top to bottom.
Yeah,
Matthew and I we've been working rather hard, so we're feeling a little tired and ready to just be able to relax and enjoy and spend some time with our girls, quality time, which we started this afternoon by heading to the beach.
Yeah,
so we went to see one of, again, Ontario's specialties, the Great Lakes. We spent some time this afternoon at Lake Huron, a nice little beach close by here.
Yeah, if you can't have the ocean, this is probably
the Great
the
Lakes
next best
yeah.
thing.
They're a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was nice to have some relaxing time there.
Yeah. So we should show them the trailer.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that now.
All right, friends and family. With the truck, you had Matthew, who is a highly technical, detailed person. For our lovely trailer, you have me, who is not so highly detailed with this kind of technical stuff. But I think I've got it. So we have our trailer, and it is a 281 bunkhouse standard edition Sportsman recreational vehicle. And we are super delighted with it. And I'm going to take you on a little tour today. So we're going to go around the outside first. We don't have it out right now, but it does have an awning, which is basically for sun shelter, is what we've been told and recommended. Not particularly good at standing up to wind or heavy rains, which so far we have not experienced any in the trailer. It has two doors. We've got a back door here and a front door, and I will show you where those go in just a moment. So if you follow me around the back here, it looks like the back of a trailer. A couple of windows, which I will show you once we're inside, look out of our girls' bunks. So it's nice that they have that. We have lots of adequate cargo space, so it runs right through from one side to the other. So we can store all of that fun extra junk, you know, sewer hose. It's kind of an important piece. And everything else. I'm not going to tell you everything that's in there. I think these are called leveling blocks. They go in there. I've learned about those. Those are important, especially if you don't want all the blood running to your head while you're sleeping at night. Here we have our beautiful slide out, which again, once we get inside, I'll show you what exactly that amounts to. It's hard not to turn backwards on you, sorry. Over here, just a quick view of the outside again. Another cargo bay that runs from one side all the way through to the other, which is great for lots of that sort of storage that you need to bring but don't necessarily need access to from inside the trailer. Around here, propane tanks are at the front, which I have learned is important for weight distribution. We have a great tow hitch. We don't have it on right now, of course, because we don't need it. We have lovely, very safe Blue Ox sway bars, I believe they're called. I hope I'm nailing all this. I've watched Matthew operate this a few times. Again, important in terms of the trailer not rolling away, as well as keeping things level so we can sleep comfortably. And then we'll bring you around and come on inside. So we'll go to the back because it's kind of a back to front deal. All right, come on in. I've got the air running right now. I'm going to go flip that off because it's a little bit loud. Whoops, I'll turn heat on. Pardon me. So back here, we've got the girls' bunks. Matthew can pan around and I'll just talk a little bit. We've got our youngest up on the top, our older down on the bottom, which they are both quite enjoying. We're all still adjusting to the new sounds of a trailer. So at night, the air conditioner, the fridge, there's just different little bumps and sounds that happen. So we're all still getting used to that. We've had, I think, 2 nights in here now, so not a whole lot to get adjusted. We have a lovely couch here, which also folds down into a bed, which is great. I'm not going to try to put it back up right now because I might not be able to do that. Although it's supposed to be. Let me give it one try. Yep, okay, there we go. Nice and easy. And then if Matthew pans out here, you'll see that this is kind of open concept living space here. I won't do it now, but this folds down into another bed as well. So we have a couple of additional beds for guests to come. We have a nice prep counter for food here. We do have a location for a TV, but we don't actually have the TV in just yet. There is, of course, a microwave, a beautiful oven, which we have not even turned on at this point, but we will get to that. I was going to say lots of cupboard space, but reasonable amounts of cupboard space. We're not talking like a 4-bedroom house here, but we were able to fit everything in that we felt we would need to prepare a meal. And Matthew does like to prepare us some delightful gourmet meals, and I think he will be able to do that in here. This one comes, which was one of the attractions for us actually, was a larger fridge than most trailers will come with. So we have lots of space in there, both the freezer on the top, you can see what we eat or not, and lots of space here in the bottom as well. So that's great. And I think it's a fully electric fridge. Am I correct, Matthew? Give me a head nod if I am. Yeah. Yes, fully electric. So it doesn't have to run off the propane. It can run off battery and when you're plugged in, of course. So coming through here, this is another thing that I really appreciated about this design is the fact that our bathroom separates the master bedroom from the main living. So he can kind of pan you around there. Sink, a beautiful shower. A lot of them have tubs, which I was trying to avoid because I don't see much of a use for a tiny little tub. So this is nice that we have a full standing shower here, which I'm quite delighted with. And then in here we have our master bedroom, which has some nice closet space on both sides for us, an upper storage area. There's storage under the bed as well. I'm not going to bother to lift that up, but that's been nice. It's come with like a decent mattress as well. I'm finding it okay, and I have a bit of a bad back, so that's about it. There's lots of light, lots of windows. If you have any specific questions, you're welcome to write them below and ask, and Matthew will be delighted to answer them.
Even though I prefer the technical details, I think you still did a great job.
I hope so.
The trailer.
Like I said, if anyone has questions, they can ask.
Yeah, we're enjoying it so far.
Yeah.
It was the most, like, as we've told you, we're not people who've done trailer stuff ourselves. Mm-hmm. So actually hooking up and moving the trailer, that's been the most stressful part. But so far, we've been careful and it has gone smoothly.
Really well. Yeah, and we've been pleased with, because you're kind of curious about what is this going to feel like driving this vehicle? Are you going to feel like you're pulling something? And we've been delighted to discover no. They really have these things set up well for the truck and the trailer to be compatible as much as, you know, vehicles can speak to each other. They've got that set up with brakes. And so you really do feel like you're driving one large vehicle for the most part. There's no real push or pull. I mean, you notice your shocks are definitely in use.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it feels pretty good.
We have had good weather so far.
That's true.
As well.
Yeah.
So if we get into some higher winds or things or some rain, that might change things.
I asked Matthew's uncle for some advice on, is there like special driving techniques for bad weather? And basically it was get off the road. So that works for me. I'll take it and I'll go with that. If I'm not feeling comfortable driving in it, then I will say it is acceptable to say we're not driving right now. Yeah. And we'll give ourselves that space of time to get to the island.
So in the way of highs and lows, I think that was actually a high for me, is being able to drive the trailer cautiously, but also feel like we're getting comfortable.
And I'm proud of him. He backed it into a driveway on a cul-de-sac where we lived on the like actual circular round part. So that to me, that was impressive.
I think I only had to go up on the center island just once.
Just a little. But yeah, that was awesome.
I was worried about that. We did a bunch of practice in a parking lot, and then you were like...
And then finally I was like, I think we just have to go try. Yeah. So we did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we had a delightful neighbor who helped us out at the craziest thing, the last bit, we're down to the very end, and we're like, probably because we're so, nervous and a little uptight at this point, and we're like, it won't come off. The truck won't come off the ball. Like,
Yeah.
how do you get it to
Yeah,
come
the
off?
ball and the hitch, they were stuck. It was the kind of the angle and the dip
Yeah.
we were on. It was not coming free the way it usually would. And so,
Yeah. So beautiful
having not
neighbor
enough experience, yeah.
to the rescue, helped
Yeah.
us out, and that
Mhm.
was awesome. We were grateful that he was there. I was kind of hoping he'd be home when we did that, just in case, because I know he knows about trailers.
And
so
thankfully-
thank you. You know who you are.
Yeah, and we didn't have the whole neighborhood coming out and like watching us do this.
No.
And that was nice too, because we
A
lived
circle.
not
Lived.
anymore. lived on a cul-de-sac. So
Yeah.
we had lots of people who could have had eyes on
Yeah.
us. Maybe they did from their windows.
Well,
but-
if anyone's half as nosy as I am, they
Yeah.
definitely did.
Yeah.
But it all went well, and we were happy, and we've got it out here now into the country where we want to be for the next couple of weeks, and it went smooth, and we felt safe driving
Yeah.
it. So that's good.
And the other high for me, I feel like this week is a lot of highs for me, is originally I had gotten hired for the substitute or the supply list. And over the past 2 weeks, I've been applying for a lot of jobs. Fortunately, a lot of jobs came up that were external. So that means anybody can apply for them. You don't have to have already been working within the board. And I got a job. I was honestly getting to the point where I was thinking, oh, they're not going to call me. Like, I had no personal contacts in the board.
Yeah.
They don't know who I am. They're just going to overlook me. That was sort of my way of protecting myself
Consoling
against
yourself.
the
Yeah.
failure.
Yeah.
But I got a call, and I'm going to be working full-time doing music, which is my experience and specialty.
I told them he has enough new stuff going in life right now that it's okay if he goes into a subject that he's comfortable with.
Yes, yeah,
So-
and I'm feeling good about that too.
Yes.
So full-time for at least the first 9 months.
Yeah.
It is a contract, so that in their terms that means it's a temporary job.
But
That's the way you have to
is
start.
more than
Yeah.
we were
Oh,
really
yeah.
even expecting. So
Yeah.
we're delighted
Mhm.
with that.
And then
Yeah.
actually since then I've had a few other calls for interviews. So that
Yeah.
just makes me feel good that I'm somebody who has enough experience to be
they want to
worth-
follow up with you.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
that's
I think-
been amazing.
hmm
Yeah.
What about
So,
you?
Not a lot of highs this week. I've been working hard, really like physically hard. We've
Yeah.
been working hard. Just wanting to conclude well in the house, wanting to leave it in as best condition as possible for the family coming in. So just been working hard, and just you spend so much time thinking, and I'm kind of an organized person, so making sure I try to make everything as easy for everybody as possible. So I wanted everything organized for the movers, so I had tried to keep everything contained to about 2 or 3 rooms, so
And
they didn't
you
have
did
to
a fantastic job.
Thank you.
They did compliment her on
Yeah.
that. Oh, you guys are quite organized.
organized,
Okay,
ready to
let's
go.
get
so
to
that
this.
was great.
Yeah.
It kept it straightforward for them, and then cleaning the house so that the next family coming in doesn't feel like they have to live in our dirt. And then even as silly as it is, getting my dogs organized to live in the country, in open country versus a fenced backyard. So making sure they have comfortable access to the outdoors, that they can be trusted. My hound will wander, so I have to make sure she's attached to something, and I wanted her to be comfortably chained outside. Not that I leave her out there by any means. She's been in the air conditioning most of the day.
Yeah, just recently I went inside and she's like trying to
Flaked
nose her
out.
way in with me.
Yeah. So again, just making sure that everybody has what they need, including my girls, making sure that the stuff that came with us was enough to make them feel like they can still carry on with their life and enjoy their hobbies and what they like to do. So, their few favorite books, their art supplies, their electronics, they're not really into toys anymore, but just making sure they have access to things that make them feel like their life is coming with them.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not really a low, but it was just a lot of work, and I'm happy to be moving into more of a downtime phase at this point.
Yeah. I think for me, the low, and I think we'll see it more several times, and I saw it in my girls already. We do online church service that we watch that we are a community that we're a part of, and so it won't be the last one that we see, but it was kind of the last one in our home in London, and seeing my girls getting, especially our oldest girl, getting a little teary in that was. It's like, oh, this is significant, and there will be loss here in this movie, even though there's lots of exciting things. So that's a moment of emotion and low to think we're going to experience some loss and some adjustment
There
to this.
will be some mourning, and we want to provide them and ourselves the space to do that. We recognize that there's loss in change. So allowing them the ability to do that, and so far they're coping quite well. So
Yeah, they are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
I'd really like a house. I don't want to be whiny and impatient, but as the days come and go, that weighs on me a little bit more. I haven't had to think about it too much the last little while because I've just been busy wrapping up this house. But now that I don't have that to think about anymore, I think I will probably be a little anxious about that a bit more. And because you have a location that you know you're going to be at, it'll kind of be just sorting out where exactly we want to land, because where he's going to teach is a little different than where we were originally looking. But it's not a permanent situation where he is, so we can't bank all on that location either. So it's just,
I think what it's done is it's just broadened our view of what we're looking at. We had narrowed into a specific area. Now we've just opened that up some because I'm going to make contacts in a different part of the island, so there will be more possibility that will come with that.
So just still settling into the waiting and trusting that that house is out there, and fighting the urge to settle just to have it settled. I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to rush it and settle it just so I can say, okay, it's done. I want to make sure that the decision we make is the right one and that we are happy for the foreseeable, the ongoing future.
And reason 52 why our real estate agent is fantastic.
Yes.
She's always planning ahead and giving us hope. So I had a phone conversation with her the other day, and she's like, well, if it gets to September and you don't have anything, we'll start looking for some short-term rentals for you. And I'm like, oh, you'll help us do that? I didn't think that was something you'd do. And she's like, well, I've got contacts and I have, the real estate agents talk and we know people. So it is another point of comfort that if we need to, she will help us find something appropriate until we find that permanent home. Yeah.
So that's kind of, and next is we do actually have a few family events and family vacation time with the people who are here so that we get some good time in with them. So looking forward to that. We're going to do a couple of just family get-together kind of things to see some extended family, and then we're going to spend a week with my family at a cottage, which is always an adventure. So those are things that we're looking forward to.
Yeah, it's a bit of that. I think now that we've done all these major things and we've kind of hit what we call the halfway mark. We're out of the one house.
I'm calling the halfway. We're calling it the halfway.
We need to just unwind for a little bit. And as we said at the beginning, enjoy this beautiful countryside, enjoy our family before we move on.
And do the next big part.
Yeah. So while we unwind, we hope that you are also enjoying the summer weather if you're here in Canada or wherever you are, being safe and being well. And in 2 weeks, I'm sure we'll have
something else. It always starts that we're like, oh, what are we going to talk about in 2 weeks? And then it rolls by and we got lots.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for watching.